Hi, my name is AJ Layton. I'm the lighting director at Grace Family Church in Tampa, Florida. Recently, we got to try out the ADJ Focus Spot 7Z at our broadcast campus. We got to use it during our weekend services over a couple weekends, as well as our youth service. We first pulled them out. I'd say they exceeded our expectations. Actually, they're pretty sturdy. Yeah, it felt like they were well built. And the biggest kind of impressive things to me was that both gobo wheels rotate. That's nice to have. I usually only see that in pretty high-end fixtures. It's something we use a lot. We use a gobo, which is a pattern in a light. When we make some textures, we can actually just make that pattern shift a little bit, slowly or fast, kind of whatever the moment needs. And then the big thing about having it on both gobo wheels is that you don't ever wind up with a gobo that can't rotate. Pretty often, fixtures will have one rotating wheel. You wind up selecting a gobo that you like a lot, but it won't rotate. So in this fixture, they all rotate. One thing we noticed about this focus spot is that it has a network jack on the back that can be used for ArtNet or streaming ACN, which is super useful, especially as you get into higher channel modes. You can start running it as a node rather than just straight DMX, which I think is really going to become kind of a standard in the future. As we were using the Focus Spot 7Z, when we first went to patch it, we kind of start looking at which fixture mode we want to use, what channel mode. It's just always nice when there's a lot of different options in there. So fixture mode give us different options of how many channels that light can use. So that gives us options where if we don't have a lot of channels available, we could run it in a lower channel mode and give up a few functions that maybe we don't need. Whereas if we have channels available and kind of an operator that may use those features, we can run it in a higher mode. This is a CMY fixture, so it's all flagging and color mixing, but there's also a color wheel that's kind of used for extra saturated colors and things like that, which is pretty typical. But in this fixture, the color wheel is built in such a way that you can split the colors and have an even fade. The CRI filter, it was a great tool to have. The white balance, all I had to do was drop in the CRI filter and the white looked great on our camera. It kept me from having to do any type of color tuning in all of our presets. I was able just to throw a white and not blow out or feel green on camera. One of the things I noticed about it is that the pan and tilt was very smooth. To be expected in a light of this kind of caliber, but going really slow, it still looked nice and smooth. The back of our room is about 200 foot from the stage, so a lot of times if it is jumpy, you can notice it on the gobos in the back of the room, and we didn't have that with this, so that was good. The Focus Spot 7Z has an adjustable PWM frequency or refresh rate. It's really nice to have that and kind of that little comfort factor that we can adjust that frequency of the LED source. So that allows the light to kind of play better with video. Another feature that this light has is adjustable fan settings, selectable fan speeds, and it was actually even selectable through the control channel, which is pretty great because in some environments we might be running a little hot, you could run the fan on full time, or you could set it to kind of what they call a studio mode. For us, it would come into play today we have a film shoot in that same room where they don't want any lights on because they make noise. In this case, we could have used that fixture, enabled the studio mode without any fan noise.